Hey, everybody. Once again, it's the new show. It's RC once again. The new show, RC Saves America. I got to come back and do these shows to save America. What's going on, y'all? There's a lot of stuff going on that as we get busy, as we get older and busy, we're missing a lot of we miss a lot of stuff that happens. So I like to keep people up to date on what's going on, current events. I ask kids all the time, hey, you know what's going on? Do you know what's going on here? No, 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 no. They don't know nothing. They got a computer in their pocket. They don't know. They don't know what's going on. They have no idea what's going on around. So I do the show. Do a show. We talk about everything, but mostly news articles, what's going on in America, and how I have to give some good advice to save America from itself once again. All right. So how are we going to start? First, we're going to get started by some words that I use, so that way everybody understands. There's no misunderstandings. I don't want nobody to get sensitive. All right. So I'm going to go through some things with you real quick. You hear me say buddy and baby a lot. I don't mean any disrespect. I'm just not really good with names. Buddy, baby, you'll know exactly who I'm talking about. I promise you. When you hear me say buddy and baby, so you'll know exactly who I'm talking about. Another one. This is a Philly thing, really. I'm talking about the word the chumpy. The chumpy is my word. I invented that word in the late '70s, and I always use the chumpy to describe a thing. You know, the young guys, the generation below me, wanted their own little thing, so they came up with the joint. Now, uh, I was watching Creed, and Creed baby was telling Buddy what the joint man. She's right. She's absolutely right. It is a noun. Person, place, a thing. So I had some young guys. They tell me, "Yo, man, you see the joint I was with last night?" And I was like, "You mean baby?" It's kind of like borderline disrespectful, but that was their thing. And they're right. They did describe a person, place, a thing. But the chumpy was always a thing. You never hear me say, "Hey, man, you see the chumpy I was with last night?" Just it was always the kids say that today. Did you secure the bag? Back then it was did you secure the chumpy, which it could mean a lot of different things. If you got beef, do you had a chumpy, or do you need some medicinals? Did you pick up the chumpy? So I mean, it had a lot of different meanings over the years. But I wrote it till the wheels fell off. Then I seen that I didn't know we didn't know about copywriting and trademarking back then. But I seen Will Smith use my word on Fresh Prince of Bel Air, and use it a few times. And even they had one show where Hillary looks right at the camera and she says, "What is the chumpy?" And I was like, "Oh my God," I felt vindicated. Plus, I have a little crush on Hillary anyway. But anyway, yeah. So the chumpy, you hear me say the chumpy, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Again, sometimes you hear me say swipe, and swipe is an old penitentiary, like in the '70s. You read the Donald Goings books, you'll have swipe in there. Swipe is a word for male genitalia. So I'm trying to keep the show as profanity free as possible. Kids are watching, but if you hear me talk about swipe, you'll know that's male genitalia. So that way you'll know what that means. Uh, Nakedness, and I'm not talking about clothes. This is for the black men, and I'm gonna tell you why I have this phobia because it was mind-boggling. But all right, black men with no mustache. It's just, oh my God. If you ever watch the news or you watch ESPN, you watch any of these sports shows, a lot of black males, no mustache. It's like a rule, I guess. You have to shave that mustache off because the more you look like a bitch, the more we white folks, I guess, they feel comfortable around you. Now, and there are exceptions now. There are exceptions. Let's get to the exceptions of no mustache. All right. A lot of guys, the Nation of Islam usually goes naked because a lot of those guys are going through transformation. They're going from red to Malcolm X, basically. And they like to be clean shaven, and respect. Respect. We respect that. So they get a pass. Um, a lot of older guys don't like the gray in their mustache. They shave it off. Respect to the elders. They can do whatever the hell they want to do. All right. So that's off the table. And my African brothers, my African brothers seem like they just born naked. They just never grow a mustache. Some of my African brothers, so they get a pass. Respect African. But I'm talking about the young guys. The young guys who shave it off and put like Vaseline up there or something, make it shiny. I'm like, oh my God, never trust a black man with no mustache. No, but I'm gonna tell you the reason I was. Everybody knows I did 9 years in the feds, and I was in transit one time. You go from penitentiary to penitentiary, and when they feed you when you're in a child line, you're usually getting fed by guys that's in that penitentiary while you're in transit. So I'm walking down, I'm in this line getting my food, and I'm looking over, and this dude over, he got to be like 6'11", 7 foot tall, 300-pound brother. He talking to another big guy. They over there serving the food. And he says, the big dude says the other one, he says, the next black man that comes down this line with no mustache, I'm gonna pick him up and French kiss him. And I was like, oh my God, you know, Jesus Christ. I mean, I was like, wow, what, you know. So I looked behind me. The guy behind me didn't have, he had a mustache. I didn't want to look no further. I got my food and got the hell up out of there. So, and that's the thing I had always gave me a phobia about black men with no mustaches. I never wanted to get, never wanted to get picked up in French kiss. You know, make sure I had like a Steve Harvey or Billy D. Williams jumping off full, let it be seen. You know, mustache. But it's a lot of nakedness, a lot of naked brothers walking around. So when you hear me see nakedness, I'm not talking about clothes. So, oh, okay. This last one. I mean, you're gonna hear me say the word Jesus Christ a lot. I mean no disrespect. I use it in place of saying like, God damn, you know, it's like I can't believe it. I got it from a guy I used to work with. He was somebody called him. He said, "Oh, Jesus Christ," you know, they called me again. You know, but I just use it a lot. I'm sorry, I mean no disrespect, but I'm trying to keep, like I said, profanity down. Kids are watching. I'm trying to make the show everybody friendly, and we can get to some of the current events that's going on in the country right now. And we're going to use them as examples and how to stay safe, America. I'm trying to keep you safe. Everybody, black, white, everybody. You know, everybody, Spanish, Asian, whatever. Try to keep everybody safe. All right. So it ties into my first story today, which is Joe Biden. Joe Biden is, I guess he's going to be running for president or whatever. And everybody's starting to figure out now Joe's a little touchy feely, right? And I'm going to tell you something about Joe Biden. I don't know him personally. But from what I see, Joe's always been like that. He's been like that. To him, it's natural. He don't even know he's doing anything wrong. He's touchy feely. Kiss a woman on the head. That's kind of creepy, Joe. But he's been doing it so long, and women let him get away with it for so many years that he didn't really know that it was a creepy thing. But I look at Trump criticizing Joe, and I'm like, ain't that the pot calling the kettle black? I mean, it's a lot of and that ties into my next story. It's a lot of predators, in not only in D.C. Period. Ladies, and this one goes out to the ladies. Ladies, and even me, you have to understand something about males and females. All right, so there's only two kind of people on this earth: male, female. 90% of the males are sexual predators. Now, some can control themselves, some can't. And that's the ones who can't, that's the ones we have to worry about. Ladies, I'm reaching out to the ladies, because ladies, I have a female knee fetish. And everybody who knows me knows this to be true for years. I mean, this is when I have a friend of mine, she told me I was from Philly. She told me I was so short growing up that I was always knee height, and that's why I had a knee fetish. But to me, women's knees is very sexy. I mean, just very attractive to me. I don't even know why, but women's, oh, you just found another part of the women's body to sexualize. All I'm saying is, ladies, look, let me just tell you, I really don't believe women realize how fine you are, especially young girls. I'm really starting to understand. I'm gonna give you an example, but I'm really starting to understand because women wearing like the highest dresses, right below. I mean, it's like these hardly moms would just almost walk around naked. The tightest little, everybody like to wear the little tight, the tights now. Black and white women like to wear the little, especially white girls. I love white women always love to wear those, the leggings they're called, tights and walking around, and these white girls are getting thick and they're getting approached by dudes and they don't know how to handle it. And I'm telling you why, because that is an instant turn on for predators. I worked in the car business for 20 years. The car business is ground zero for predators. And the stories are just, I mean, it's unbelievable. Unbelievable. And I'm gonna give you an example, and this is a light example. And I'm just gonna be graphic, and I'm gotta make it that way so you understand the impact. For example, I'm just gonna give you a quick example. They just made a movie called What Men Want, about baby who could read dudes' minds. And Dave Chappelle touched on this years ago. You can't really make a movie like that because it'd be too nasty. It'd be too gross to think what was really going through a male's mind. Males think with their lower half of their existence. So they're not going to make good decisions when it comes to women. That's why there's all these, we got a guy with 6 kids by 6 different women. Males are going to chase what they can see physically, fat booty, big boobs, whatever. So, and the less you wear, ladies, incites predators. You get attention from males when you dress less. And summertime's coming, I know, but ladies, I'm just here to tell you. I'm not here to tell you what to wear. You can wear whatever you want to wear. All I'm letting you know to be safe. You live in a country with predators, and especially as parents and grandparents. We gotta look at these kids and say, wait a minute, you can't, because there's predators out here. Uh, you're gonna put on the little shorts and you're gonna go jogging in a desolate area with headphones on. And I mean, you're just oblivious to this guy that's following you around circles. He's trying to throw you in the trunk. There's too many women getting raped and killed and raped. I mean, it's just horrible, man. And I'm trying to put an end to that. You cannot do that, ladies. You can't go out by yourself anymore. I'm sorry. Now, there's only one way you can really do that. And as parents, we got to look at it. We got to arm our. Is that, I mean, is that the answer? Do we have to arm our daughters? I tell you what, if you give your daughter a 38 snub nose and she's out jogging and somebody tries to put her in the trunk and she blows their brains out, if that happens in a couple states, it'll stop. The predator rising will stop because predators are looking for soft targets. They're looking for easy targets they can overpower, throw them in the trunk, take them home. Oh, I seen them legs. Oh, I seen that backside. Oh, I seen those boobs bobbing up and down. And as a male, I've almost had accidents when women jogging, like, oh my God, baby's fine. But I'm just saying, male, and it's hard for males to even admit this. You talk to a lot of men about, oh well, listen, males look at young girls, especially older males, look at young girls like, just like they just the sweetest thing ever. You got to understand, and most of these guys they just can't help themselves. They just gotta do it. I'm like, what is wrong with y'all? Because something happened to them when they were younger. So, ladies, just protect yourself. I'm gonna give you an example. I've been in the car business. I worked at this dealership, let's say in North Carolina, big gigantic store, body shop, parts, service, sales, bunch of cars that works, big place. All right, so I have an appointment with this couple that's coming in. The couple comes in, white couple, two sons and the girl. The girl's about 15. She comes into a dealership with a two-piece bikini, flip-flops, and sunglasses. And she's fine. She has a small waist, fat backside. I mean, she has the body of a woman. But if you look in her face, she's a kid. All right. So I'm sitting at the table with them. I'm looking at this. I know she's a kid. But the people I work with at this dealership now, everybody that's managers are all older white guys, like 50, 60 in that range, and all the managers of all the different departments. I hear a page, and I'm sitting at the table, we getting the paperwork, getting the credit together and all that. I hear a page from the general manager. Let's call him Bob. Bob is a page. He says, I want all department heads, I want all managers in my office now. Now, I mean right now. And I want Rodney Crawford in my office right now. I'm saying, damn, what do you want me for? So by the time I get up there, me and the body shop guys going up there at the same time. Everybody else is in the room. The topic of discussion, what the meeting was about, was this 15-year-old girl and how they wanted to fornicate, not just in her vagina. No. They wanted her backside. That was it. And they was just, they had her on the camera. They was following around. They was getting still photos of her. And they was asking me questions. I said, man, the girl's 15. And I always respected the body shop dude because he walked out. When I walked out, he said, man, I got a kid that age. He walked out, and me and him left at the same time. I went back to my customers. So I'm sitting down there with him. I'm looking at the father, and the father's just totally oblivious. He's walking around with his head in the clouds. Like he has no idea that all these grown men upstairs is plotting on your daughter's backside. So I'm talking to mom. I think mom is starting to notice because now everybody's coming to the table. The manager comes to the table, thanks him for coming in. The GM comes to the table. The finance guys come to the table. Nobody ever does this. Nobody comes to no table and thanks people for coming in. We got too many customers for that. But this girl sitting there, then the girl starts walking around. She's flipping and flopping with them flip-flops. She's creating all this attention. Even other customers are looking at it. I had my buddy I work with told me he had a customer and the guy was talking to him about features. Baby walks by, he loses his train of thought. His wife had to hit him and, hey, oh, I need third row. Oh, God. He forgot what he was saying. He lost his train of thought and his wife made him leave. So, but it's just that I'm looking at mom and I said, well, mom, you ever think about, putting some clothes on her? I mean, she's not a kid anymore. She's getting grown. Mom said, oh, I know, but she's a free spirit. We let her wear what she wants. And I'm like, oh, my God, Jesus Christ. But, I'm like, okay. But mom's starting to see now because she's starting to sense the preterism. She's starting to sense it because everybody's coming around. So we do the deal. Long story short, we do the deal, but it takes about 3 hours. because they got them in there. They're talking to her. They're taking pictures. They act like they're taking pictures of the parents in the car, but they're taking pictures of the girl. And the next day, the finance guy calls me to his office to tell me that he done made a shrine of baby in his closet. And he blesses her, he blesses her, he's gonna bless her every morning when he comes to work. I'm like, oh my God. Do I need to know that? TMI's kids say, but I'm just saying, man, that's the level of preterism, and that's a light story. That's a light version. I got a lot more that's more horrible than that. But what I'm saying is that I guess people don't realize that your kids, if you knew, I was wondering if these people could read minds and can read and knew what everybody was thinking about, would you do business at this dealership? Because these guys, they want to hit your daughter in the cheeks. That's it. I mean, no other way. The finance guys, the GM, all they talked about for months after that. They had pictures of the girl all over the office. And I'm saying to myself, man, these guys, man, so that's the level of predators that you. I mean, it's even. I don't know what to tell you, ladies. When you want to go jogging, you go to the gym. That's another ground zero for predators. I mean, at least you're around other people, I guess. But you might have to get your own treadmill and stay at the house. If you knew what males were thinking, you would stay in the house more most of y'all, because you'd be like, oh my God, I just work from home and everything from home because I just can't go out. But what you wear, ladies, is definitely enticing predators. And I'm gonna tell you, like I was watching a movie, right? And I'm gonna tell you how women kind of like do it to themselves too. Kind of like you have something called the Miss America, Miss Universe, and all that kind of stuff, where the whole thing is, you think men want to listen, you think males would want to listen to your aspirations in life and all that. All males want you to do is put that bikini on and turn around. That's it. We don't want to see you play the violin and if you got talent and none of that. Put the bikini on, turn around. Let's see what you're working with. And that's it. And the women do it too. I mean, it's like now they say, well, we're not having no bikini part to the pageant. Guess what? The ratings are going. Nobody's gonna watch it. Nobody's gonna watch it. We got to start making some really serious admissions to each other and ourselves about, because a lot of us are faking. A lot of men, oh, I don't think. Come on, man. I'm just telling you what everybody thinks. I was watching a movie, Ocean's 11, I think it was. Bernie Mac. Bernie Mac was talking. They was putting together their little con or whatever, and Bernie Mac was talking to these ladies, and he was telling them, ladies, we need you to be upscale. We need you to be this. We need you to be. He could use words I couldn't even pronounce. I need you to be this. I need you to be that. I need you to be this. So the girl's like, well, what do you want to do? And Bernie said, raise those dresses 3 inches. Basically, that's it. I mean, you understand what I'm saying? It's like, that's how you get attention of males, which leads me into my next story, which is kind of fading out now, but I got to talk about it, the Kardashians. Now, I like the Kardashians. I respect them. You know why? I'm going to tell you why. And I think it starts with the mama, because she's smart. They don't really have a lot of talent. I mean, they're not going to write any songs. They're not going to sing. They're not rappers. They're not going to, paint a beautiful work of art. But what they learned to do, especially at the beginning, was use their fineness, and they got rich off thirsty males. Point blank. I seen Kim Kardashian. They put her on the Daily News, the New York Daily News, but her butt crack was showing, and she had a bottle and popped the top and had a glass on her butt, as if to say her butt was so big it's like a table, and it broke the internet. That was the story. Oh, Kim Kardashian breaks the internet, but she got rich off thirstiness, off thirsty males. So I respect them, but I want to reach out to Khloe. I like Khloe. I know a lot of people, but I like Khloe. I like all of them. But Khloe, I want to reach out to you because you seem to have the same issue time and time again, and I'm tired of hearing, breaking news: Tristan Thompson cheated on Khloe with the girlfriend at the. Come on, man. Do we have to have that breaking news? That's personal business. But that's our fault as Americans, because we were always interested in other people's business instead of our own, basically. But Khloe, I want to reach out to you because you seem to have the same issue. You keep choosing tall, rich, black men, basically. And in most cases, see, when it comes to handsomeness, that's all about money. If you got money, you don't care what you look like, you're handsome. But Tristan Thompson is like a handsome guy. I mean, he's what, 6'11", Let's just put it this way: if Tristan Thompson worked at Walmart for $10 an hour, Tristan Thompson would still have problems at work because he would hit most of his coworkers and most of the customers. It'd always be fights over Tristan Thompson and another fight in electronics. Two women are fighting each other over Tristan. You'd have to keep transferring until it got to a point where we had to put him in a warehouse with all dudes. That's the Tristan. We're sorry, we got to put you in a warehouse. You keep causing too much. And Tristan saying, I can't help it, man. They keep coming to me. I'm tall and handsome. I'm tall and handsome. He's tall, dark, and handsome. And that's what women respond to. Now you put him in the NBA and you give him millions of dollars and you give him a championship ring. I mean, this guy has a following of women from state to state, even overseas, Canada. They play in Toronto, wherever. But Chloe, once you say you're dating him or he's your man, you just open them up to millions more women. Because I bet you there's millions of women who never knew who Tristan Thompson was until you started dating. So now they're in his DMs. He got a whole. You open him up to make your fame. It's your fame. It's a blessing and a curse. And your fame opened them up to millions more women. You gotta stop expecting these guys to be faithful. These guys are young, they're rich, and they have the baddest women on earth trying to, give them those needs. And he's young, he's going to take them. And the best thing out of it, you got a baby out the deal. You can raise your baby. She'll give you a lifetime of joy, and you don't even need no money from you. You got your own money. So, but Chloe, you got to stop choosing the same type of guy. You got to look for a short, unattractive, broke guy like me, who would appreciate when the limo comes and the private jet. Oh my God, you pick me up in the private jet, I'm gonna be completely faithful. You see what I'm saying? Because I understand. Hey man, I got a girl got money to put me in a private jet, limos, and the best hotels and houses and da da da, and swimming pools and jacuzzis and all that. I'm gonna be faithful to them. You know what I'm saying? But that you keep choosing the wrong type of guy, man. This guy, you. I mean, it's like, what do you expect out of these guys? They're not going to be faithful. And I don't want you to get mad at men. That's the next one. I'm mad at all men. Listen, if you have a guy, ladies, if you have a guy that's making you feel good and you're sharing him, you might have to just keep sharing because life is short. I used to watch listen to the radio, Steve Harvey show, and had a girl in there giving advice. And ladies, you got to watch out for advice from other women because this girl was mad at men. It was Strawberry Letter. Oh my God! When it first came on, there was a woman on there saying, "Hey, I make 100-something thousand a year. I got a guy. He stays on the couch. He don't work. He don't clean, but he makes me feel good 3 a.m. She's like, "Oh, get rid of him. Oh my God, you got to get rid of that bum and da da da." But baby, she got money. She don't need no help money wise. This guy makes you feel good. You make enough money, keep him around because he makes you feel good until you can replace him. I mean, she probably broke up with the guy, kicked him out. Now she's sitting around Christmas all lonely. Christmas, New Year's, oh, I ain't got nobody. Don't listen to others. then some years later, she admitted, "Oh, I was mad at men." Now, oh my God, you can't listen to her. She's hating men right now because stuff she's going through. So watch out for the advice, lady. Watch out for advice from other women about men. Please be careful with that. If you're happy, just be happy. Because in most cases, males are going to cheat because males think with their lower half. Now, if you get a real man whose word is good, then that's a whole nother story. Then that's 1 out of 10. But, in most cases, if and I just want your ladies to protect themselves out here. There's too many predators out here. What you wear has an effect on these predators. These young girls got the tights on, not knowing that they fine. Their legs are thick, the backsides are round. And you just don't know how fine you are and how much you stand out. If young girls were to stop, it'd be skyrocketing because that's what everybody desires. You know what I mean? So it's like, just be careful, protect yourself. And if you want to put on little shorts on and jog, take the heat. That's all I'm saying. Protect yourself. And once you blow somebody's brains out and you do it from state to state, it happens a couple times, it'll end. Trust me. Them guys were like, "Oh my God, I want to, kidnap her, but she might kill me." Oh, yeah, she just may. So that's a whole nother thing. All right. So I don't want ladies, don't get mad at me. Wear what you want to wear, but please just understand that other males are watching and they're predators. Just please understand it. And as parents, we gotta understand it. I'm tired of seeing these young girls getting raped and killed. It's ridiculous. These girls gotta grow up and have families and all that. So just watch out for that. All right, y'all. The feds. Everybody knows I did 9 years in the feds. And I talked about that briefly when I was saying about the chow hall line. And I wrote a book called Penitentiary Jesus by Rodney Crawford Jr. It's on Amazon Kindle. You can just punch in Amazon and punch it up. It's only $4.99, and it takes you through the whole federal system, step by step. I reach out to the rich people, the rich white people that's getting ready to go to jail for the college scandal and all that, the briberies. I'm not mad at y'all too, because if you got money, you're supposed to try to do things for your kids, but you got to understand your kids don't even want to go to college. They're just waiting on you to die so they can do whatever they want to do with the money. They don't want to go to school. And if they go to school, they're going to have fun. They're not going to get degrees. You never want to buy a kid's way in and he's going to be a chemical engineer. They have to want that. These kids are going to have fun at college. You're going to have, for a guy, he's going to have drink. I'm going to have sex. I'm going to have a ball for 4 years. So, but you don't need rich white people that's going to prison. You don't need to pay all this money to some company that tells you how to do time. Listen, you're going to a camp, okay? It's not going to be rough. Nobody's going to extort you. Nobody's going to rape you and beat you and all that at a camp. So you're going to be good. If you want to know how the feds are, just spend $4.99. Go get my book, Penitentiary Jesus. I named it that. I am Penitentiary Jesus because I've already done the time for you. And that's what I talk to kids about. When young kids are getting ready to make a decision on their life journey, usually happens when they're 16, 17, 15, 16, 17. Decisions are made. If you're going to go down the road of being a gangster, I'm not a preacher. So I'm telling you, hey, if you're going to be one, be one. But you got to keep your mouth shut. And there's a code to this. You got to keep your mouth shut because if you don't, you put your family in jeopardy. That's what a lot of people didn't realize. Oh, I'll tell, and they'll put me in protective custody. But you left your family out there in the street. And then I gotta explain to people why did somebody firebomb a house with grandma and 5 kids in it? And they make the firebomber look like he's the most vicious killer on earth. He's the most rotten person on earth when it's actually the person that told is the most rotten person on earth because they set their family up and they put their family in that position, man. You can't do any telling once you hit the street game because you put your family in, you might get away. You leave your family out there. There was a story out of Arizona. I have to tell this story because, like I said, I want people to learn. We got to grow from this. All right. If you want to know what snitching is, and snitching is, first of all, is not a victim. God told me one time, he said, man, if a girl gets raped and she points out her rapist, he's, oh, yeah, she's a rat, man. She's a snitch. I'm like, oh, come on, man. Are you out of your mind? She's a victim. And most taxpayers are going to tell because they're taxpayers. They pay taxes because they feel like the police and the system works for them. But, it's just, it really doesn't work all the time like that. So you gotta, so I was in the joint and I tell this story so people understand about, because a lot of young guys to me, I got a body. Oh, really? You got a body? You don't just have a body. You have thousands and thousands of bodies. I'm gonna tell you how. So I'm in transit once again, and they put this guy in the cell with me, and I could tell already he was crazy because he smiles a lot. Anybody anywhere that smiles all the time is absolutely crazy. So Buddy's pacing, and I'm like, oh my God, I ain't gonna be able to sleep. So I said, what's wrong, buddy? What happened? So he goes on to this, he goes on to tell me his whole story basically. And I asked him for permission. I said, yo, man, I'm changing names to protect the guilty. But if I ever get in a public situation, can I share the story with the public? He's, oh, absolutely, man, because but he couldn't sleep. He's scared to go to sleep because he keeps having a recurring dream. So, and this is what he gave me. He told me, this is back in the 80s and whatever. He was in the drug game out in California, getting big money, and he had a connect with these Puerto Rican kids, right? And the connect was great. I mean, smooth sailing every time. They had about a year of good business, and a year in the drug game is like dog years, like 7 years, on regular time. So he told me one day he woke up and decided he wanted to rob these guys. And I was like, hold up, stop right there. Why would you want to do that? The business is good, the product, everything's good. He said, I don't know, man. I just want to take what they had. I was like, okay. So he gets into a shootout with them. Long story short, he gets in a shootout. He doesn't get they don't, they defend themselves and everybody defends themselves. And he's leaving that little area. He's getting ready to hit the block, so he lets out a couple more shots. He lets out the last one, and he sees this little girl walk out the door, and she walks right into this boat, a little black girl. But he never, he gets away. He never gets charged for that. He ends up getting caught on a conspiracy years later. He gets a life sentence. Okay, he comes in the feds. He's in about 4 or 5 years, and he kills somebody. He beats a guy to death over the washing machine. Some guy tried to sneak in the washing machine before him. He felt his disrespect, and he felt, look, I got life anyway. What the hell? He beats this dude to death. A few years later, after that, his lawyers find out there was prosecutorial misconduct in his original case, and they go back to trial, and he's free and clear. He could walk home that day, except for he's got another life for killing this dude. So now that's really messing up his head. Man, I could have been home, but I could have gave that guy a pass on the washing machine if I would have known, but he didn't know at the time. So they vacated his sentence, but he could now he got another life to do. So now he did something else, and he's in trial again for something else now. But he keeps telling me about this girl. So I said, why can't you sleep, man? What's wrong? Go to sleep, man. I can't sleep if you can't sleep. He said, man, he said, in the dream, the girl gets older and older and older. And this is all happening, in the same night, the same dream. And the girl gets older, she gets married, and she has kids. She has 4 or 5 kids. Those kids grow up, they get older, 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 and then they have kids. Till finally, this girl is like Big Mama. She's the matriarch of the family. She's Big Mama. She's 80 years old. She's got, 5 kids. She's got 15 grand. She's got 35 great grands. And they go to this family reunion. It's like the Johnson family reunion, right? So he says he's at this. All of a sudden, he's in a park. All these people, man, music playing, kids playing, everybody's having fun. Old folks getting their groove on, at the family reunion. And Big Mama sitting there. She's happy. She's looking around at all her family, and it's just the best time ever. And then everything stops. All the music stops. Everything stops. And everybody turns and points to him and says, you didn't just kill her. You killed all of us. And I was like, damn, when he said it, when it hit me, because he killed the girl who hadn't had kids yet. And when you do that, he found out the hard way. He didn't just kill her; he killed a whole generation of black people with one bullet. You talking about the Black Klansman? God Almighty! I mean, it's like Jesus Christ. I mean, I'm like, man, and it stuck with me, man. We stayed up the whole night because he couldn't sleep, and I couldn't sleep with him not sleeping because he might try to kill me. I was like, this motherfucker, he's crazy. But that hit me so hard. Now I kid, I got a body. You killed a kid before they had a kid. You got more than a body, man. You got thousands and thousands and thousands because it keeps going over and over and over because kids keep having kids. And not only did you kill one person, you killed thousands and thousands of black people with one bullet. Why don't you just go join the Klan? I mean, just get out. I mean, you might as well just go to white boys and say, hey, man, I want to join y'all because I'm more vicious killing than y'all could ever be. I killed thousands of black people with one bullet. So that's just one of the stories in Penitentiary Jesus. I tell the rich white folks, please just get my book. It's an ebook, $4.99. And I'm not trying to get rich, but I did it for kids. Like I said, that's making that life journey to decide which way they're going. I tell kids like this, listen, in the feds, you must have a job. All right. A 9 to 5, 5 days a week. All right. They're going to pay you 50 cents an hour. So if the option is for the next 20 years, I'm going to have a job making 50 cents an hour and live in a bathroom with another man in a room the size of a bathroom with a toilet and sink and 2 bunks and maybe a little cabinet to put just little cosmetics in for the next 20 years. Why don't I get a job out here on the street for 15, 60, well, 15, 20 bucks or whatever and go home every night and raise my kids and lay next to my woman every night? My warm woman, she's just warm, soft, the warm knees are just like an oven coming off those knees every night. Why not do that as opposed to making 50 cents an hour, cold cell with another dude, and you might have to fight for your butt cheeks, depending on where you are and if you're not affiliated. That's all I'm saying. Before you make a decision to be a gangster, know everything that's happening, and you're going to do the job. Some people say, well, I ain't working, I'll stay in the hole. No. They got something called diesel therapy. And trust me, it's in the book. After diesel therapy, you're going to work. Trust me. I've seen the baddest. Oh, my God. I'm not doing, man. They come back sweeping, painting, whatever. I'm like, damn, Blackie pain. Yeah, I can't take no more. And I respect that because nobody wants that diesel therapy. Uh, the second chapter in my book is called Butt Cheeks, and it's not for everybody, but for some people, your butt cheeks will be in jeopardy, especially if you're not affiliated. I seen this. We just recently seen this thing on the news. Somebody snuck a prison. Somebody snuck a phone inside the prison. They took a picture. The picture was a guy, a young boy on his knee, hands and knees, with a dog collar around his neck and a leash. And these two guys are posing with him like he was their dog. So the boy's mama seen it. Oh my God, my boy, get him out of there, get him. They're gonna rape him. I'm gonna reach out to mama and say, Mama, if he's on all fours and with a dog leash, they already got to him. It's over. He's coming home a girl. But then they said with the boy, what his MO was. The boy's a carjacker. All right. And he carjacks from older people. Like, he'll pistol whip your grandma for the minivan. And that's what the common theme is with these guns. We find out that everybody's a killer with the gun, but as soon as the cops take it away from you and you come to the penitentiary, you're on all fours and you got a dog leash around your neck. You know what I mean? So that's what it's about. 90% of the people coming to prison aren't ready. They're not ready for it. So it's best to stay the hell home, get a job, and get out the way. Get your woman and realize how important that is. Because once you're in for 5 years, 3, 4 years, you wish to God you was home now with a job. You be like, man, I'll take a $10 job, an hour job with, shovel crap if I had to for 10, whatever. If I can make a living and take care of be next to my woman every night, put the kids to bed. Daddy's turn to play with mommy. Now you tell your wife, you tell your wife, hey baby, put on those leggings or put on that little tight dress, That's where it's for. It's for your husband late at night, ladies. I don't understand something too, fellas. If I'm married, right, and me and my wife go out, and she's got on the shortest mini, and all her legs are out, and all her boobs. I mean, what is that saying about me as a man? I mean, it's like God. I don't want my wife out. I don't want guys to see. I don't even want guys to see my wife's leg. I mean, if we had a swimming pool or beach, that's something else. I don't even want you to see those knees. Baby, cover those knees up. That's my little personal playground. That's my personal stash. But a lot of guys are soft and weak. They do. Oh, my wife. Oh, happy wife, happy life. I hear that a lot in these dealerships. I'm like, oh my God, man, come on. I understand that a wife and a husband is a partnership. I understand that. And some wives stay at home and they still deserve respect because you got to raise those kids. That's $100,000 a year job. Well, all I'm saying is, why as a man, when you come into a dealership wanting to test drive this, test drive that, test drive this, and then tell me 2 days, oh, my wife said I can't buy nothing. I'm like, well, man, why don't you talk to her before you come in here and waste all my time? Damn. I mean, talk. You live with her, right? You sleep with her. Hey, baby, I'm thinking about buying a truck. Oh, we can't afford a truck. Okay, I won't waste nobody's time. But they always come down and they always do it, and the wife ain't letting them buy nothing. And I'm like, oh my God, I never seen such softness. But But anyway, so saying all that, the book is out there. I'm trying to keep kids out. It seems like a lot of rap music, and not even today, but it's been in the past before. So I'm not one of those guys who diss the younger artists, man. I kind of like the new guys too. They have a different thing to say. But most of them, if you watch them, if they get time, they grow up and their lyrics change over time because they're growing up. You got to understand something about rappers, y'all. Rappers are young. Rappers ain't been through nothing. You can't find a rapper out here that's done 10, 15 years. You can, because nobody wants to hear an older guy come home from the penitentiary and start rapping and say, hey, man, hey, this is what it is. This is the pitfalls. And, nobody wants to hear that. They want to hear, oh, I'm selling dope. Oh, move that dope. Oh, do this, do that. And I'm not blaming nobody. I understand for every dope song out there, there's a song empowering people too. But the radio stations push the dope songs because most of the radio station owners own prisons. It makes sense. I'm going to program your kids to listen to these dope songs because I got to fill these prisons. And it makes sense. And I'm not mad at nobody. Our job as parents is stop. I heard my grandson one day, we riding, and he started talking about some pills or something, or one of them songs was talking about pills. And I told his father right then, I said, look, man, you cannot let him listen to this radio. Or because they're programming. He's already in his mind, in his spirit, pills, dope, and he's 9, 10, and it's already invading his spirit, man. So they change it up, they put on, let him listen to some old school, give him some Houdini, give him some Run. I mean, because it ain't gonna be all that. It's gonna be about talent. It's gonna be about rocking the house and dropping science at the same time. That's what I liked about the hip hop of the older eras. It was always, can I give you some jewels and rock the house? Can I make you dance? Can I move the crowd and give you some, Chris Rock came out with a movie called Top Five. And I like that movie because it came with who's your top five, so one of the dudes that's in my top five, I'm not gonna give you my whole top five. Yeah, I'll give it to you later. But one of the dudes in it is Ice-T. And the reason he's in it because a lot of his music was people say, oh, the pimp dude. I got almost a lot of fights over this guy. He was like, oh man, he's whack. He's some pimp guy from LA. Like, no, man, this dude is telling you to think before you make a move. He's not telling you to make the move. He's telling you to think because you don't want to go to prison, do you? Is that what you want? You want to spend the next 20, 30 years in prison? And that's what we're trying to keep you kids out of. I'm here to try to keep you kids out of prison. That's my goal. I'm going to keep some of you. You always say if you save one, you've done a great job. No, I'm trying to save thousands. Thousands of kids. Make a better decision on your life journey, on your choice. All right? All right, so now we get past all that. Ladies, protect yourself. Chloe, choose a short man like me. But the news, stuff that's going on in America right now, we can learn by. Okay. Have y'all heard what's going on in Indiana? Now, the only reason I bring this story up because I need to know if you feel if decisions like this are being made by the sheriff, it's almost like we have to check all your decisions now because you're not too bright, sheriff. I mean, I don't want no sheriffs mad at me or nothing, but I'm never going to White County in Indiana. All right, so let me tell you what happens. So the sheriff out there thought it'd be a good idea to get the teachers to get them prepared for an active shooter situation. Makes sense, okay? Makes sense. Kids are coming into schools with guns, man. So somebody got the bright idea. We're going to teach these teachers not to be submissive to the shooter, right? So they march 4 teachers in a room. They get them on their hands and knees, execution style, and they shoot them in the face with a projectile. It's like a plastic bullet or something, right? They shoot them in the face with a projectile. Now you got teachers bleeding. You got one almost got their eye put out. That's the first 4. And they rush them out. They bring 4 more in, make them get on and shoot them in the face. So they do this a few times, and then somebody finally says to me, "We need to stop." There's going to be all kind of lawsuits behind this now. But then the sheriff gets up there and we're like, "Well, the teachers knew it was going to happen. You didn't tell them teachers you're going to shoot them in the face, man." And how you expect teachers? You know what they told them? They said, "This is what happens to you when you're submissive and you do whatever the shooter says. He march you in a room till you get on your hands and knees, you get shot right in the face." Like you're trying to turn these teachers into mercenaries or something. I mean, they're not mercenaries, man. They're not unarmed killers who want to disarm a kid and then kill it. These are teachers, and then most of them are underpaid. Underpaid teachers shot in the face by the sheriff of White County in Indiana. Sheriff, we need to check all your decisions. We need to go back and see all the decisions you made, Sheriff, because that wasn't a good decision. That's Indiana. All right, Oklahoma. Now, this story, I mean, how do you, or she got a black lady that works as a manager at Arby's in Oklahoma. Can you imagine? Now, just do the math on this. 10, 15 bucks an hour, 60-hour weeks. She's a black woman, a lot of stress, a lot going on at home, work. It's all, you're doing your best to stay sane. A customer comes in and spits in her face for whatever reason. I don't know the reason. Maybe the order wasn't right, or the change was, I don't know. Spits in her face. So this black woman said, okay. She promptly got in her car. She followed the guy, shot him, killed him, and went back to work and finished her shift. I said, damn, Jesus Christ, that's gangster. I mean, that, to finish the shift part, I was like, man, because I probably would have shot him too, but I'd have kept going to Mexico some damn where, Canada somewhere. But she went back to work to finish the shift as if to say, hey, it wasn't me, I didn't, But now they want to charge this lady with murder 1. And I'm like, come on, man. If anything, it's involuntary manslaughter is the charge, because when you spit in somebody's face, man, that is a level of disrespect that is just unparalleled. That's like smacking a man. It's certain levels like that, and it's just But she bodied him. So I guess what we learned from that: keep your ass. If you want to spit on somebody, don't go to Oklahoma, and especially don't spit on no managers at Arby's or any of these stores because you might get dealt with and you might come home in a box. That's Oklahoma. It's like, I heard that story. I was like, whoa. So, uh, that's Oklahoma. That's what happened in Oklahoma. All right. So the next thing up is Virginia. Now, this is a state that's close to me because I used to live in VA, Hampton Roads area. I'm Hampton Roads friendly. Hampton, Newport News, they call it Norfolk. They call it Norfolk. Norfolk, Virginia Beach, Suffolk, Chesapeake, Carrollton, Smithfield. I know the area pretty well. The governor of Virginia. Now, I'm reaching out to the governor. I want somebody to get this video to the governor of Virginia because I have to reach out to the governor. Because I understand, governor, and I'm going to let you know. So this is what happened in Virginia, in case you didn't really get the full story. A while back, if a photo came out with the governor in blackface. Okay. Blackface and or a Klan's uniform. So now, everybody's calling on the governor to resign. So the first day he said, okay, I'll resign. So, but there's a but to that. The lieutenant governor, that's the vice president of a state, basically. If something happens to the governor, the lieutenant governor takes over. The lieutenant governor's a black guy. Now we're talking about Virginia, y'all, and Virginia's probably is a very racist state. I'm gonna tell you why. So, how this guy even made lieutenant governor is beyond me, but he's lieutenant governor, so he's probably thinking, oh, blackface. Okay, governor, see you later. Bye. I'm next. I'm in. Bro, sorry. Two women came out and said 10 years ago he's a date rapist, allegedly. I think he's lieutenant governor. Now, where were you at when he was running for lieutenant governor? We never know. But as soon as the governor of a Commonwealth state opens up, here comes two women saying, oh, he date raped me. So everybody's calling for him to resign. So, but he's like, well, I'm not resigning because there ain't no proof 10 years ago. The governor ain't resigning. And I already understand what happened to the governor of Virginia. Because I already know what happened. Some other white folks sat him down and they said, look, you can't resign. Because if you resign, we all have to resign. We've all done the blackface. Everybody's done judges, prosecutors, law. I mean, everybody. It got so bad that even, you know how the late night comedians are. They jump on everything. They couldn't even say nothing because they've done the blackface. It seems like to me, white folks seem to think blackface is the funniest thing ever. I could dress up like Rick James. I could be Curtis Blow. I could be Michael Jackson for an hour or two and then wash it off. And that's what makes it offensive to black. In case you didn't know, white folks, blackface is very offensive because we know one place you're not going to wear blackface. That's in a courtroom. Because you don't want the time we get. When you can get probation and we get 20 years, you don't want that 20, especially for your kids. Oh, no. These kids, So that's what's offensive about it. So you got to understand something. We have to understand something about America. I think once you understand, it took me a lot of years to really, I used to get frustrated with racial things. And it took me a lot of years because you look at these white kids who rape and you say, how come they're not going to jail? This country was made for and written by white males, for white males. And once you understand that about America, it's kind of easy to navigate. Now, everybody else can prosper, but you have to understand that about America. Even white women weren't involved. And they starting to figure that out now. White women starting to, well, we're not involved. You're right. You're not. Because these white males only really need you for sexual purposes and to procreate, to keep the family line going. They'll marry one, they'll cheat on her and do whatever they want to the other ones. But it's just to have kids. Once they find out how to clone and all that, you're done too. But this country, and once you understand it, because I seen a case recently, kid raped this girl in college, right? Little white boy raped this girl in college. And they got everything. They got DNA, they got witness, they got everything. But the kid, his lawyer is alumni of the school, right? The prosecutor is alumni of the school, and the judge is alumni of the school that he goes to. So now what makes it even worse is the prosecutor is female. She's a woman. And I'm looking at the parents of the victim. I'm looking at the parents of the victim. You're sitting there, this woman is saying, hey, yeah, he raped you, but he's only getting probation. And we're going to wipe his record clean in 6 months if he don't get in no more trouble because jail will be just too harsh for this kid. He's young. I think rape in white male hierarchy is a rite of passage. I think you have to rape something to move forward in life in the white male world. And only white males can tell you that for sure. But because it seems like, it keeps happening over and over again. These kids aren't going to jail. White kids, white males are doing a lot to try to go, but they just can't seem to go to jail. I seen 4 white kids, 2 separate incidents of throwing cinder blocks over an overpass into oncoming traffic. Now, they killed this black guy, no jail. No, they're young. They didn't know. They didn't know they could hurt somebody. And they killed another. I seen them kill some separate set of kids, killed a white guy. So even though the victim was white this time, still no jail time. And I'm looking at the parents like, if that was my kid, somebody's going to jail. It's going to probably be me because, I'm handling this myself. But I mean, it's like, wow, what do you have to do to go to? You're throwing cinder blocks over an overpass to oncoming traffic. Of course, you're trying to kill somebody. I mean, what are you trying to do? Like that. It was a case a while back. A white guy raped a 6-year-old. White guy rapes a 6-year-old, gets caught. The judge gives him a $10,000 bond. Now, I didn't have higher bonds for traffic offenses than that. $10,000. He pay $1,000. He's out in the street. He gets out and rapes a 4-year-old. Now they lock him up with no bond and all that. But I'm saying, and everybody's saying, why, judge? The judge likes little girls too. What other explanation is there? I mean, a $10,000 bond raped a 6-year-old. Man. So that's America, yo. We have to get past it. You love it or hate it, but we can still prosper here. But you have to understand what's really going on. And everybody's like shocked and all that. They all go to the same school. It's this secret. And I'm not mad at it. I used to be upset about it, but I just realized. Finally, it took me a long time to realize that's the way America is, and we got to really accept it or leave. I mean, it's just what it is. So, the governor of Virginia. We're gonna get back to Virginia. So now, after all this happened, so nobody's going to resign. So like a week later, the governor's wife. There was some event or something going on, and there's some black kids there, and I guess they're trying to have a. They want diversity. They just don't know how to do it. See, rich white folks have never been around like real black people. You've been around a bunch of naked, no mustache having black men. They're naked. They're not the real. You need real. You need me, RC governor, to come up there because that's the only thing that's going to give you credibility and diversify. So anyway, so they had this event, and the governor's wife thought it was a good idea to say, hey, we're talking about slavery and stuff. She gave all the black kids some cotton. Now, of course, the press jumped on, oh my God, she's so insensitive. She gave the black kids cotton, da da da. But baby, they didn't let her finish her story. What if she had money in the car also? What if she went to the bank and got like 200, they call them racks these days, stacks, kids call them. What if she got 200 racks, right? And she says, okay, black kids, here's cotton. All right, little white kids, here's the kids. And 3 generations later, those stacks, they multiply. They multiply tenfold in 3 generations. So at the end of 3 generations, what do you have? Black kids still got cotton in their hand. We still got the cotton, but now we make $7.50 to pick it. What do the white kids have? They got the money from 3 generations. And that's what the math is. Once you get to the truth, then we can move on. We got to destroy and rebuild. So, Governor, I implore you, Governor, my email is Philly, PHILLY 0210 @gmail.com. Get at me, Governor. Get me up there, and we're going to have a sit down. I want you to invite me to dinner at the mansion. Your wife, kids. I want the family there. You ain't going to need no security. We're not coming to argue about this and that. We're coming to diversify. How can we move forward from this? For example, Governor, I'll give you just one of my initiatives, in which I'm going to let you take all the credit for. I don't care about the press and credit. We won't get a couple grants. I teach credit. They're not teaching these kids in school. They're not teaching them at church. They're not teaching nobody about credit. Young black kids have no idea about credit. I'm in the South selling cars, and I'm listening to parents in front of their kids talk about who got the worst credit. The mother's like, oh, wow, my credit's horrible. I didn't pay no bills all my life. The father's like, oh, my credit's even worse than that. I'm like, and the kids are sitting there just sucking it all in. I'm like, another generation of bad credit, another generation of 30% interest, another generation of cars that are crap and people getting rich off you, and there's other races getting rich off you when you don't know how to buy a car. You coming in because you really don't have no choice when you got a 400 beacon score. You're at the mercy of whatever somebody tells you is going to happen. You got to take this car at this payment with this much down, and you got to do it because you got to keep working. So it's just it becomes a cycle, and it's just a horrible cycle. So I teach credit to these kids. That's my legacy. I've been in this car minutes 20 years. When I'm gone, they'll say, "Hey man, this guy gave us some jewels, credit wise and life skills. This guy gave us some life skills and credit because these kids have to know something. They have to know what to do when they turn 18. How important of a time that is for them. So governor will find some grants. You get me up there. I'm not trying to get rich. See, I'm not doing this. I have to eat, obviously, and I have bills to have a family to support. But I'm not trying to get rich doing this. This is more of a legacy type thing. And I got some other stuff for you, Governor. It's going to be so. You're going to be a Renaissance governor when all smoke clears. Your legacy is going to be like the governor of Virginia, which is one of the most. You know why Virginia is a racist state? Because Virginia is the first colony, the first slave ship, which was named Jesus, by the way, left Africa and came to Williamsburg. So, and I sold timeshares up in Williamsburg. And when I try to get out the car business every now and then, I try to get out, and they always get me back in. But I sold timeshares up in Williamsburg, and you have to learn to hit all that history to tell people about the history of Williamsburg. And I usually had two presentations, one for white folks, one for black folks, because you can't tell white folks that George Washington was horrible, and Thomas Jefferson is a child molester. They don't want to hear that. And black folks, I had a black couple told me they didn't want to hear it. I was like, oh, okay, Thomas Jefferson's the greatest guy in the world. But yeah, so but most black people already know. But yeah, they had Tom. Well, speaking on Thomas Jefferson, he had a family reunion, and all these black people showed up. So of course, the white lady got on stage and said, "Well, yes, Thomas had an affair with one of the slaves, Sally, and they had kids." And a black woman took the mic and said, "No, it wasn't an affair; it was rape." So I mean, it was she didn't, she wouldn't have chose Thomas Jefferson as a partner if she had a choice. She didn't have no choice. And George Washington was absolutely horrible. George Washington during the war. Now he's a general right now. During the war, one of his slaves escaped. There was a lady he was raping all the time. Anyway, she made it to upstate New York. He followed her. He went after her during the war. They were like, "George, where you going? We got a war. I'm going to get this." I mean, I can't believe she tried to escape. He went to New York and found her and caught her, beat her, raped her, brought her back. Like a year or two later, she escaped and she made it to Canada, and they never seen her again. So she got away that second time. But I'm saying George Washington that's what America is, though. America's a place. If I got kids to do like a book report on some of these people and come back and tell me, like Christopher Columbus. If you do the report on Christopher Columbus, you probably come back and say, this is the most horrible person ever existed. This guy is the most rapinest, disease spreading. He's cutting off hands. He's the first one to start cutting off hands. And his demise was he started cutting off his own people's hands. And that's when the Spaniards were like, oh no, get his ass out of here. But we have a celebration, we have a day for him in America. That pretty much tells you everything about America. I'm not bashing America. I live here too. I'm from Philly, Philadelphia, born and raised, y'all. You know that. I mean, I'm an Eagles fan. So what I'm saying is that, like I tell a story, because when you're a fan of these, how you gonna bash America if you like sports teams? It's like I had some guys when I was doing stretch with, they were from the islands, and every day they used to tell me how much they hate America. Oh, every day. America this, America that, America this, America. You keep coming back, but America, I hate it, I hate it, I hate it, I hate it. But when the Lakers had, Shaq, Kobe, and Phil Jackson and won those 3 championships, they were Lakers fans. Yeah, Lakers go, Shaq, Kobe, Phil Jackson. I'm like, how can you be Lakers fans if you hate America? You know what I mean? Your team's supposed to be the Barbados Coconut Breakers. You're not supposed to be no Lakers fan. You hate America so much. The Lakers represent any sports team represents everything that's excessive about America. Excess. So. But anyway, so Governor of Virginia, I'm reaching out to you, man. You can be a Renaissance governor. I got stuff for you. We're gonna. You have to. Virginia is like just recently in Virginia, Lynchburg. Let's take Lynchburg first. Lynchburg, Virginia, the cops just pulled over 4 black college students for a broken taillight. Guns drawn, handcuffs on the ground. I mean, what? I mean, and I understand the cops, but see, that's the training. The cops think, well, everybody black is a gangster and a criminal. So we treat them the same, and then that way, we treat all of them the same, and then, but that's racial profiling, Governor. That's profiling. There's another case I need some answers on out of Chesapeake. All right, so this Black guy and girl, Buddy and Baby gets pulled over. All right. So in the car, Buddy has a handgun, bullets. He's got some pills and paraphernalia. Now he's a felon with a handgun, so he's in some trouble. But the girl, if he's any kind of male, I mean any kind of man, he's going to take it all himself. That's my girl. She don't have nothing to do. This none of this is her. It's all mine. So Baby's not really facing a lot. You see what I'm saying? So it ain't like they're quadruple murderers. They want us to believe. All right. So they handcuff the girl. The guy is fighting back. He's resistant. So they turn their attentions on him. This girl's handcuffed now. They want us to believe. And she's handcuffed in the back. All right. Now vision this. She's handcuffed in the back. Everybody wants us to believe that the girl went in the car, got a gun, and shot herself in the mouth. And the coroner backed it up. I mean, next day, coroner, yep, that's how it happened. And of course, the body camera was broken. The body camera wasn't working at the time, obviously. Yeah, the body camera was defective. But somebody's got to explain to me how somebody with a handgun, with their hands behind their back, can shoot themselves in the mouth, straight in the mouth, out the back of the head. Now, unless this girl's the exorcist, now she can spin her head all the way around, yes, or some kind of contortionist or something. But we need some and plus, why would she kill herself? She's not facing. I mean, it's not funny, but I mean, she's not facing nothing. She's like, okay, I'm riding with him. I didn't know he had a gun in the car. Plus, Buddy's probably gonna eat everything. Oh, it's my gun. It's my this, my that. And the coroner said, yep. And we're supposed to just sit here and believe it. Like, wow, okay. So when you lose trust, Governor, when you have things like that going on in your state, you lose respect, you lose accountability because I'm sure you brought some black guys up there, but I'm probably 90% sure they were naked. They didn't have no mustaches, and they're out for themselves, Governor. They're going to come in and give you all these initiatives for money for them. They could care less about the black kids in Virginia. I'm from Philly, Governor, but like I said, I lived in Virginia for a few years. I still got some people there. I got people I love that still in Virginia. So I got a connection there, and once I get through there, I can come to Philly and do it. Because once you get a reputation for teaching credit, other places will open up. But you could be the first one, Governor. You could be the first governor to say, when all the smoke clears, when they look back at you, man, this governor was a Renaissance governor. He's a Renaissance man. He did all these initiatives and got this going and got that going, got the diversity in the state. Now Virginia's a place where everybody can live in peace and happiness and don't hurt my kids, I won't hurt your kids, and we can all respect each other. So Philly 0210, Philly 0210 at gmail.com, Governor. I expect to see something from the governor. A plane ticket. I'm near Atlanta, so Hartsfield, right to Virginia. Had the governor's limo pick me up and take me to the mansion, man. I want to meet the family. It's time that you have to meet a real black person, man. And when you bring me in, you bring in credibility. Because one thing about RC, I can only be as real as I can be. Ice-T had an album back a long time ago. I talk about Ice-T a lot. He had an album called Freedom of Speech. We do have freedom of speech in this country. You just better watch what you say. Can't say too much. Like talking about the Jews. Look, when you talk about today's Jews, I'm apologizing already. I'm sorry. I'm apologizing. But I want everybody to understand what this is about. The Jews have something called the Anti-Defamation League. Now, if you don't know what this is, we tell you what they do. And black people, we need something like this too, black people. But the Jews where they hire a bunch of people to sit around and monitor social media, monitor everything, to see who's talking crap about them. All right? So if they find out you said something that they don't like, they reach out to you, hey, we don't like that, you have to apologize. Now, if you say, I'm not apologizing, no, they say, okay. All right, we're going to denounce you. Now, to the average brother on the street, he's going to be like, well, denounce these nuts. I mean, denounce these balls. I mean, that's because he doesn't know what that means. If you don't know what that means, denouncing you means nobody, Jewish, black, white, Spanish, Chinese, whatever, is going to do business with you. If you're a rapper, nobody's distributing your music. Even black distributors won't go against that big because everybody eats off the system. So once the Jews say, hey, these people over here ain't doing what we say, they're cut off. So they're not going to risk their income and their livelihood for you because you didn't apologize. And a lot of people had to apologize recently for the smallest. I looked at Jay-Z has a line in the story of OJ where he says, the Jews own everything. He's trying to tell black people, like, look, start owning stuff like the Jews. They own everything. The Jews reached out to him and said, oh, you can't say that, Jay, because it's stereotype. Even though it's true, you can't smack you on your hand. You can't say that. LeBron James recently, I would give LeBron James a lot of credit. He says a lot, as much as he can say in the NBA. You can't really. He does. He goes his barbershop shows. Like, oh my God, LeBron. He says a lot of stuff that But he said he was getting Jewish money. Can't say it. Got to apologize. Same thing with 21 Savage. Hey, I'm out here getting this Jew. Can't say that, son. You got to apologize. And I wish black people had something like that, a defamation league. We can sit around and say, who's doing the blackface? Who's doing this? And who's talking about us? And, we don't have that much power, though. People look at us and because, I'll get into all that later about, but how people perceive us. But I was watching Aquaman, and I'm a big fan of Aquaman, the comic book. And I watched the movie. I liked the movie. I liked the soundtrack was decent. But in the movie, you got a black villain. Now, it's cool to have a black villain. But it's almost like, because, these are white writers writing these stories, right? And I'm looking at it and I'm saying, okay, this is how white people perceive black people to be. Like, we don't take responsibility for our own actions. The guy is a pirate. His father turned his son into a pirate. And they kill innocent people. If you kill innocent people, how do you expect somebody to save you? The guy's like, oh, you killed Aquaman killed my father. No, he didn't. Your father killed himself. He gave him a way out. Your father tried to shoot him again and got himself trapped and drank and blew himself up because he wanted you to leave. He drank. But now you want to kill Aquaman because he killed your father. But it's just like when I'm looking at these movies, like even Black Panther, which I love, Wakanda Forever, cousin against cousin, black on black, it's like, why not put these two dudes together? Why couldn't they come together? Okay, cuz you could be a Black Panther, I'm gonna be we got double Black Panthers. Can't do it. We got to have beef. We got to have internal conflict, and these are people who write these movies. That's how they see us. They look at the black people and say, "Oh, they can't take responsibility for their own actions," So it's like Dave Chappelle. The more you know, the more you don't really want to know. The more you awaken, you start to see things. I watch movies in an awakened sense now, and it's like, but I understand. It was a good movie. It's great entertainment. But things like I just watch things like that, how people perceive us. Because let's think, if nobody had been like they show these movies in Sweden, let's say, it's not a lot of black people up there, and now everybody around the world, white people look at us like American black, or they can't, they fight each other, they won't take responsibility for their own actions, they want to kill and then don't want to, they want to kill people and then don't want to get killed themselves. I mean, how can you be a killer who's afraid of death? I mean, come on. So that's one of the, so these are things I talk about in the show. I keep people up to date. Last thing before we get out of here on this one, Nipsey, man. Yeah. All I can say about it, man, is that because we don't know what happened as far as I got some calls from some brother. They told me, the government didn't brainwash the dude. That shit. I'm like, look, man, it could be a simple thing of dude was just jealous of Nipsey. We don't know the whys and all that yet. All I can say is, man, I like Nipsey's music. That Victory Lap was pretty good, but more so than the music, I liked his actions more so than words. We always had a saying: don't listen to what people say, watch what they do. Because you listen to what people say, oh, I'm this, I'm that, I'm this. People tell me you shouldn't have to tell nobody you're a Christian. Your actions should show me that you don't have to tell me you're a Muslim. Your actions should show me that. But I see people telling me that I'm saved, but you see their actions, you're like, oh my God, you saved by the devil is who you saved by. I mean, you're a devil worshiper for real. But his actions in his hometown, his block, his store, what he's trying to do for his homies, giving them real jobs and real opportunities, legal, showing people how to make money legally, man. So much respect to his family, to them. And I gotta say this, man, to this kid Kodak Black, man. I mean, J. Cole told us that he told us a couple things. First, the real ones is dying, the fake ones is lit. But he said you need more guidance, man, for real. And I'm starting to believe Jay, man. I think he's right, J. Cole. I'm not in this stuff. I don't even know Nipsey. But let me tell you, Kodak, man, I want to reach out to you because you're young, man. And I just want to reach out to you and tell you this, man. That was the most disrespectful thing I've ever heard anybody say, man. I think in my whole life, man. And I want to just know who's around you to let you even say something like that, man. At this time, you know what I mean? It's just and I know you're young. We've all made mistakes. I made the dumbest mistakes of all, if any. I'm not here to judge anybody. We all make mistakes. But that is so disrespectful, man. What you said, I was hoping it's not true. I was hoping it's fake news. I said, there's no way in the world Black said that. You know what I mean? But and who's around you? Your homies, they laugh. Oh yeah, Black. Let me tell you, Black. You just put you and everybody around you in serious jeopardy because it's still very emotional time, and people can't even believe it happened yet. And you come out and say something like that, Black. Oh my God, man. Listen, I'm never gonna give you tell you something without a solution. But your apology has to be. I mean, just a simple Instagram apology is not gonna work. You owe the whole state of California an apology, man. And now see, Nipsey's affiliated, man. You made a big mistake. And that affiliation has spread throughout the United States now. So no matter where you at, people love this guy, man. And you disrespected his woman like that at this time, man, Black. I know this guy saying right now, oh, you don't have to worry about a year from now because you ain't gonna be here a year from now. You said, why would you put that target on your back like that, man? You can't go to California. You can't go to LA. You can't go out there now, man. I don't know why people say that. The apology has to be big, Black. If I was talking to you face to face, man to man, I would tell you, Black, you don't have nobody in your corner that's real. All right, that's the first thing. You have a bunch of yes men, and most people have yes men because when they have people around them because you have money, and nobody. If I was standing up like Black, don't you do that? That's the most. I'll smack you for even thinking some shit like that. Don't do that, Black, because that's the most disrespectful thing on earth right now. In a year from now, maybe you can say, hey, I like to take, date Laura London, whatever. That's new, man, from ATL. You can't. Oh my God, man. Oh, Black. Listen, man, your apology has to be over the top now. You're going to have to spend some money, man. You're going to have to get a plane to fly from one tip of California to the other tip with a big I'm sorry from Kodak Black. I apologize to her family, to his family, to the whole state, to whoever he's affiliated with, because you made a big mistake, man. Nipsey is one of those guys who is crossing the divide between blue and red, if you know what I'm talking about. I watched the game when he first came out. He had a red flag and blue flag. He was trying to do that, and at the time everybody's like, oh man, that ain't gonna work. Then I watched, but then it did work. You watch dudes like OT Genesis. He's this affiliation, but he got boys who are this and this. He knows them all because everybody's starting to understand what the feds have taught us. It doesn't matter where you're from, doesn't matter what you claim. It's thorough and then it's not thorough. I live my life by, if your word is good or it's not. I don't care if you're white, black, Spanish, Chinese, Mexican, Jewish. I don't care if you're Christian, Muslim. If your word is good, I mess with you, especially business-wise and relationship-wise. Your word's no good, I'll put you over here. You're an acquaintance. Hey, how you doing? Yeah, see you later. Bye. Can I borrow some over? No, I don't have no money. I don't have nothing to let you borrow because I know you're not going to give it back to me because your word's no good. And ladies, that's a good way to judge men. If his word's no good, how is he going to be faithful if his word's no good? But Black, we're going to be getting back to this, Black. You disrespected to a level that and I hope you're taking this seriously, man. If you're not, I would tell you and your friends to get life insurance policies of like $500,000 or whatever, and leave that to your parents or your loved ones so they have something to bury you with, because that is an offense, man. Because people are still not over. I still can't even believe it happened, let alone deal with that kind of disrespect at that kind of level, man. So, Black, you got to do something, man. If I was talking, I always talk to people like I was talking to them in a 6x9 cell. I don't talk about people behind their back and say things about people that I can't defend. And I'm just telling you, man, that was a bad mistake. We wish to God it never happened, because now you put your whole crew in jeopardy, man. And y'all might be some bad dudes, man. I don't know where y'all from. Every place is gangster. You could be from Philadelphia, PA, or Philadelphia, Mississippi. It don't matter. It's all gangster. That's what the feds have taught us. We found out in the feds that your homeboy, that's my homie, my next door neighbor, we grew up together. He's the one that tells on you. This kid from Richmond, Virginia, though, he's the one that saved you when they came to get you. Your boys ran. This kid from Richmond saved you. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, the feds are so, man, just look, man, your apology needs to be huge, man. Send some money, send $500,000 down there to the family. Do something, man, because that was some disrespectful stuff, especially at this earliness in this happening, man. Kodak, I'm not here to judge you, baby. I support all the young artists, man. I want to see you. I might not listen to your music. There's a couple songs you gotta like, but I like you to. I love to see you succeed, man. And Cole, like he said, man, get every dollar you can, but you're gonna find out money don't make you real. A gun don't make you real. Like once they take that gun away, I've seen it time after time after time. So, yeah. So that's the last thing I want to say. Rest in peace, rest in power, Nipsey. Uh, if y'all got to understand, this kid is young. He's young. Give him another chance. After he's got to rectify this some kind of way though, because if that was my people, there's nothing else to talk about. But maybe if he can come up with some kind of way to say, hey man, I have no excuse. I can't say I was drunk or I'm on pills and all that shit. I made a big mistake, and it might be a life journey ending mistake, because of the emotions that's involved. And a lot of people love this guy, man, and he's affiliated, and a lot of people love this guy, man. That's all I can say, man. So that's it for this week. I got next week. I'm doing a show. Oh, I got something for you special next week. I did an interview. I found the angriest black man in America, and I did an interview. And this guy is like, wow. But he got some good points, though. But because I'm like, what are you so angry about, man? It's America. You're a white girl. You got everything around you. No, this guy. Oh, no. Don't get, He's not going for the banana in the tailpipe, this guy. So I'm bringing that to you next week. I just want to tell everybody, be safe. Ladies, be safe. It's a shame that we have these predators out here that want to do something to our kids and grandkids and our wives and our sisters. It's up to you. It's up to us to protect each other. If you want to go jogging with the little shorts on, just go jogging in numbers. Make sure somebody got a heater. If just go in numbers, if anything. Carry some mace. I mean, something to protect yourself, man, please. Because there's predators out here. And that's very serious. I'm trying to save America. I'm going to save America. I'm not going to try. I'm going to. One state at a time if I have to. But Virginia, Governor, take it, get at me, Governor, Philly0210@gmail.com. I wrote another book, Governor, called Open Letter to America. I want you to get that one. You need to get that one. $4.99, Open Letter to America, Rodney Crawford Jr. It brings the racial divide together. It has 2 chapters, white folks and black folks. Once you read that, it's the start. You'll be able to say, wow, I start to see how other people. Then you bring me in, and then we'll go talk about it. Open Letter to America, Penitentiary Jesus. Both of those are good books to get. I'm not trying to get rich out here. I gotta say these. I've noticed a lot of elders. I'm looking at the elders and I'm saying a lot of elders are getting a check every month and they're sitting back content. They don't want to tell these youngsters, no, forget them, man. They gone. No, man, it's our job. I look at young girls and I say the dating pool they have to deal with. And they have to deal with a lot of bums. And, the young girls, 20, 22, 23 years old, the guys, these guys ain't ready to settle down. They can, well, how come he won't be faithful? And how come he won't? And a lot of dudes they're just males and they're bums. And a lot of our women are turning to other women because of that now. Because you just can't find a dude, a man. You can't find a man. So I'm here to change that around. I'm here to give all my experiences to people. My life is an open book. I ain't got no secrets, so if any questions, hit me on the email. I'll answer I'll respond to everybody. I always try to answer everybody's questions. The show, we got love for everybody. It's just some things we got to talk about. And we got to stay up on these current events, y'all. You got to know what's going on around you or you're lost. See you next week.